This island in the Philippines offers Bali-level beauty, but with way fewer tourists. Palawan is often ranked among the most beautiful islands on Earth. In this cinematic travel guide, we'll show you exactly why it earns that title. From El Nido's hidden lagoons and Coron's legendary shipwrecks to the underground river and the untouched shores of San Vicente, this journey dives deep into the heart of Palawan, an island praised by National Geographic Traveler, Wanderlust, and Coastal Living. Stay until the end to see why places like this are becoming rare in a world shaped by mass tourism. Palawan doesn't announce itself loudly. It slowly pulls you in, and before you realize it, you're already changed. At first glance, Palawan looks like just another tropical escape, but the longer you stay, the more you understand it's not a single destination at all. It's a long, stretching island where every corner feels like a different chapter of the same story. One day, you're gliding through limestone lagoons, so quiet you can hear your paddle cut the water. The next, you're driving past rice fields, fishing villages, and mountains that disappear into the clouds. Palawan isn't built around one highlight. It's built around space, distance, and discovery. What makes it feel different is the balance. Nature here doesn't feel curated or staged. Forests still press up against the roads. Beaches don't come with rows of umbrellas or menus laminated in plastic. Life moves slower, not because it's trying to be peaceful, but because it never learned how to rush. Locals greet you without selling you something. Even the most beautiful places feel lived in rather than put on display. There are fewer crowds, and you feel it immediately. In the silence of the water, in the empty stretches of sand, in the way sunsets don't feel like performances for an audience. Everything feels more raw, more textured, less polished. Development exists, but it hasn't swallowed the island whole. You're not constantly reminded that you're a visitor in someone else's business plan. Palawan doesn't try to impress you. It lets nature speak. And nature here speaks softly, patiently, confident that if you're paying attention, you'll understand. This isn't a place designed to wow you in 5 seconds. It's a place that unfolds slowly, rewarding those willing to linger just a little longer. El Nido, our first popular destination in the island, feels like stepping into a world that was sculpted slowly, patiently, and without compromise. Towering limestone karst cliffs rise straight from the sea, their jagged silhouettes casting shadows over water so clear it barely seems real. These ancient walls don't just frame the landscape, they define it, guiding you through narrow passages and opening suddenly into hidden sanctuaries. Every turn feels intentional, as if the island itself is revealing only what you've earned the time to see. You glide into Big Lagoon, where emerald water stretches beneath cliffs that seem impossibly tall, their reflections rippling with every stroke of your paddle. Nearby, Small Lagoon feels more intimate, quieter, the limestone closing in just enough to make the moment feel personal. Then there's Secret Beach, concealed behind rock walls, accessible only through a narrow opening, where the ocean gives way to a protected pocket of sand and silence. These aren't places you rush through, they slow you down without asking. Kayaking here isn't an activity, it's a conversation with the landscape. The water shifts from turquoise to deep green beneath you, and the only sound is the dip of your paddle and the distant echo of waves meeting stone. Time stretches, your sense of scale changes. El Nido doesn't overwhelm you, it absorbs you. As the day softens, Nakpan Beach offers a different kind of beauty. Long, wide, and unhurried, it invites you to sit, breathe, and watch the sun melt into the horizon. No crowds, no urgency, just warm sand, fading light, and the calm that settles when nothing needs to happen next. El Nido isn't designed to impress in a single moment. It reveals itself layer by layer, lagoon by lagoon, sunset by sunset. Stick around, this is just the beginning. Coron feels like a place where time sank beneath the surface and never fully came back up. Above the water, the landscape already feels unreal. Jagged limestone cliffs rise sharply from the sea, darker and more dramatic than anywhere else in Palawan, as if carved by something heavier than time alone. The air feels thicker here, quieter, and every viewpoint looks like a scene paused mid-motion. It's beautiful in a way that feels ancient and slightly untamed. Kayangan Lake appears almost suddenly, tucked between towering rock walls, its glass-clear water shifting from brilliant turquoise to deep emerald as the depth changes beneath your feet. Floating here feels weightless, like the world has narrowed to just breath, water, and sky. Nearby, Barracuda Lake offers a different kind of wonder, warmer, deeper, and mysterious, where thermoclines blur the line between surface and depth, and the cliffs plunge straight down into darkness. But Palawan's beauty doesn't end above water. Beneath the surface, Coron reveals the stories it's been keeping for decades. Sunken Jopuas shipwrecks rest silently on the seafloor, now transformed into underwater museums. What once carried conflict now shelters life. Coral clinging to steel, schools of fish weaving through broken hulls. History slowly being reclaimed by the sea. Diving here feels like traveling through layers of time. One moment you're swimming alongside vibrant marine life, reef fish flashing silver and blue, soft corals swaying with the current, and the next you're gliding past rusted decks and open doorways frozen in another era. The contrast is powerful, humbling. Coron doesn't separate beauty from history, it fuses them. Above and below the surface, the island reminds you that nature doesn't erase the past, it transforms it. And in Coron, the sea tells stories you don't just see, you feel them. Puerto Princesa reveals itself quietly, like a secret you only notice once you stop rushing. Often seen as just a gateway, this coastal city moves to a softer rhythm than most places you pass through. Tricycles hum along wide streets, palm trees sway without urgency, and life unfolds at a pace that invites you to stay longer than planned. Puerto Princesa doesn't demand attention, it rewards curiosity. Beyond the city, the landscape opens into one of Palawan's most extraordinary wonders, the underground river, a UNESCO World Heritage Site hidden beneath layers of forest and limestone. Drifting through its vast chambers feels otherworldly. Stalactites hang like frozen echoes of time. Rock formations resemble sculptures shaped by darkness, and the river itself moves in near silence. Here, nature exists beyond sight, reminding you that some of the island's greatest beauty lies below the surface. Back in the sunlight, Honda Bay offers a gentler kind of adventure. Island hopping carries you across calm waters to Cowrie Island, where shallow shores and soft sand invite slow afternoons. At Luli Island, sandbars appear and disappear with the tide, blurring the line between land and sea. Starfish Island feels almost playful, its clear shallows revealing flashes of color beneath your feet. These aren't adrenaline-filled stops. They're moments to float, wander, and let the day breathe. Puerto Princesa connects Palawan together, not just by roads and boats, but by feeling. It's where journeys pause and begin again. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next is the Palawan most tourists miss. The quiet mornings, the unhurried conversations, the sense that nothing here is trying to be more than it already is. Some places don't ask you to explore them. They ask you to slow down. Port Barton and San Vicente feel like Palawan exhaling. After the drama of cliffs and lagoons, this stretch of coast offers something rarer: space. Space to walk without a destination, to sit without distraction, to listen to the quiet that settles when crowds are far away. The roads thin out here, the pace softens, and time begins to feel optional. San Vicente is home to Long Beach, one of the longest white sand beaches in Asia, stretching endlessly along the horizon. It doesn't arrive in a postcard moment. It simply continues, mile after mile, untouched and unhurried. You can walk for an hour and pass more shells than people. The sea stays calm, the wind gentle, and the land feels content being exactly what it is. In Port Barton, life gathers around the water. Small fishing boats drift in and out of the bay, their paint sun-faded from years at sea. Mornings begin with nets being mended and end with fresh catch, cooking over open flames. There's no rush to be anywhere else. Sunset walks replace schedules, and the sky puts on its show without competing noise. What defines this place is what's missing. Fewer crowds, fewer signs, fewer reasons to check your phone. Silence isn't empty here. It's full of waves folding onto sand, distant laughter from a village, the steady rhythm of a place still living for itself. Port Barton and San Vicente aren't for everyone, and they don't try to be. They're for travelers who value calm over convenience, stillness over spectacle. For those who believe the best moments happen when nothing is planned at all. This is Palawan Unplugged. Out in the open sea, far from any shoreline, Palawan reveals one of its greatest secrets. The Tubataha reefs rise from the depths of the Sulu Sea like a hidden kingdom, untouched and fiercely protected. Often named one of the best dive sites on Earth, this remote marine sanctuary feels less like a destination and more like a privilege. You don't stumble upon Tubataha, you earn it by timing, patience, and respect for the ocean's rhythms. Access is limited to only a few months each year, when the seas are calm enough to allow passage. That rarity shapes everything about the experience. There are no crowds waiting their turn, no rush to move on. Just vast blue water and the quiet anticipation of what lies below. When you descend, the scale is immediate and humbling. Sharks cruise effortlessly through the currents, silhouettes moving with ancient confidence. Sea turtles glide past, like watchful guardians, unbothered by your presence. Below them, pristine reefs explode with color. Coral gardens, layered in textures and movement, alive in ways few places on Earth still are. Every direction holds motion, life, and balance, all functioning without spectacle or performance. But Palawan isn't just about what you see. It's about what you feel when you realize places like this still exist. Floating above the reef, time loses meaning. Your breath slows. The noise of the world fades until there's nothing left but water, light, and the steady pulse of the ocean. Tubataha reminds you why protection matters, why limits exist, why some wonders are meant to remain difficult to reach. It stands as proof that when nature is left alone, it doesn't diminish, it thrives. In a world where so much has been altered, Tubataha reefs remain defiantly wild. A world treasure, not because it's famous, but because it's preserved, and because it asks us to look gently without trying to own it. What we're about to reveal next might just surprise you. Why Palawan is not just about what you see. Palawan isn't just a place you visit, it's a place that teaches you how to be present. Here, every day offers a different kind of magic. Island hopping is a rite of passage. El Nido's towering limestone cliffs and hidden lagoons, Coron's shipwreck-studded waters, and Honda Bay's soft, white sands, all waiting to be explored. Each island is a story, and each boat ride is a transition into a new chapter of calm and wonder. Beneath the surface, Palawan reveals another world entirely. Diving and snorkeling put you face to face with vibrant coral gardens, schools of fish shimmering in sunlight, and graceful sea turtles gliding like dancers through the currents. Every dive reminds you how alive the ocean is, and how small we are within it. Kayaking through emerald lagoons turns exploration into meditation, with only the paddle slicing the water, the cliffs reflecting in perfect silence, and the occasional call of a bird. You feel a connection that words can barely capture. Evenings carry their own quiet enchantment. Firefly, watching along mangroves and rivers, turns darkness into a glittering celebration of life. Wildlife encounters, monitor lizards sunbathing, monkeys swinging overhead, or the soft rustle of birds in hidden forests, are reminders that Palawan is as much about what moves around you as what you see. And then there are the days when doing nothing becomes its own adventure, lounging on an untouched beach, letting time drift, listening to the waves, watching clouds fold over mountains, and simply breathing. Every activity, every quiet moment, every adventure has one lesson in common. Palawan teaches you how to slow down. Here, exploration isn't a checklist. It's an invitation to feel, to pause, and to discover the extraordinary in the simplest experiences. Don't miss the reason why travelers feel at ease in this island. It's going to blow your mind. In Palawan, you quickly realize that safety and warmth aren't signs on a wall. They're a way of life. From the moment you step off the plane or arrive at a quiet pier, the locals greet you with genuine smiles, gentle curiosity, and a patience that makes every interaction feel human. Conversations flow easily, not just because many speak English fluently, but because there's a deep respect embedded in daily life. People don't rush you and you don't feel out of place, even as a visitor. Beyond friendliness, there's a strong sense of community that shapes the rhythm of the island. Fishermen wave as you pass by. Market vendors remember your face. And neighbors look out for one another in ways that quietly extend to travelers. It's a subtle network of care and accountability. And it's everywhere. In the small villages, in the towns, even along the beaches where you kayak or stroll at sunset. Palawan consistently ranks as one of the safest destinations in the Philippines, and the feeling is immediate. Tourist areas experience very low crime, and you can move around freely without tension. You notice it in simple moments, walking along quiet streets at dusk, renting a motorbike, or sitting in a cafe without a second thought. The island has built an unspoken trust between locals and visitors, a rhythm of life that naturally discourages trouble. In Palawan, safety isn't enforced. It's cultural. It comes from respect, community, and shared understanding, rather than gates, guards, or warnings. You feel it in the way people carry themselves, the ease of everyday life, and the reassurance that comes not from signs, but from seeing a society that values harmony. Traveling here is not just an adventure for the senses. It's an experience that leaves you feeling secure, welcomed, and at peace. We saved the most jaw-dropping thing about Palawan for last: why it is truly special. Palawan isn't magical by accident. It's protected by intention. Every breathtaking view, every hidden lagoon, and every stretch of untouched beach exists because people have chosen to guard it. Environmental laws limit what can be built, keeping the island's ecosystems intact. Development is controlled, not haphazard, and community-led tourism ensures that locals benefit while nature remains the priority. Here, the power line isn't just a utility, it's a reminder that even infrastructure must coexist with the environment rather than dominate it. Profit doesn't come before preservation. The island's beauty is treated as a responsibility, not just a commodity. This care is what makes Palawan feel unlike any other tropical paradise. Unlike destinations that compete for attention through resorts, lights, and noise, Palawan's charm comes from restraint. It isn't overdeveloped, and that's its greatest luxury. Beaches stretch empty for miles, lagoons mirror limestone cliffs without interruption, and forests remain dense, unbroken, and alive. The spaces between the attractions matter just as much as the attraction themselves, allowing travelers to breathe, wander, and truly feel the island. Palawan is rare, intentional, and future-proof. Every measure of conservation, every thoughtful approach to tourism, and every decision to let nature lead ensures that the island won't be spoiled by short-term gain. It's a place that looks forward as much as it preserves the past, where beauty isn't fleeting, and where visitors can trust that what they experience today will be just as extraordinary tomorrow. That's why Palawan doesn't just feel like paradise, it feels like a promise kept. It's a place where intention shapes wonder, where community and nature coexist harmoniously, and where every moment reminds you that true luxury isn't in excess, but in the rare and the protected. Palawan isn't just beautiful, it's deliberate, enduring, and unforgettable. While some islands simply entertain, Palawan transforms you. Ready to experience it for yourself? Check the links in the description and start your journey today.